right now. But it's okay. I kind of like that. It's like you're a 1940s radio host right now.
All right, at the end of the junction, it's me and Skipper McGee, and we're running around the bases. We're galloping. We're running.
It's perfect. This is exactly how I pictured this. All right, this is Wasted Talent with Josh Beard. I obviously am the not so pretty Josh Beard. For some reason, I keep doing this on a video platform, and you have to look at my dumb face. So deal with it.
Do you have your hat on back? Do you have your hat on backwards? I can't see.
I do. I do have my hat on backwards. Yeah.
Is that your thing? Is that your thing that you're going with? No,
I mean I can take my hat off. Right do you want me to take my hat off?
No. I was just asking because every time I watch, and I do tune in a bunch, you always have your hat on backwards. I didn't know if that was a thing.
Well, I don't really want to put this hat on forward because it's a specific hat of a specific place. But obviously,
it's a Dallas Mavericks hat, isn't it?
It's not a Dallas Mavericks hat. It's worse than that. Well, it's worse than that for you.
What the hell devil? Who is it? Like, what is it?
So I've got Patrick McLellan with me, obviously from Lima Time. I wanted him more than anybody else to come on and talk about the ZACK GREINKE trade with me tonight. Obviously, that's the biggest news of the day. It's the biggest news of the week. It should be the biggest news of the month. I don't care about what's going on at Texans fucking training camp. Oh my God. I'm not going to say where I heard it, but everybody fucking knows, right? I heard there was at one point on one show today on the air on radio, I heard them talking about the fucking goal line drills for like 20 minutes. They were talking about Texans training camp goal line drills. And I'm like, dude, the fucking Astros just traded for ZACK GREINKE. They just won a World Series. The Astros just won a World Series, and you're talking about goal line drills right now. But whatever. It's not my place to talk.
Okay, no, I don't want. Never mind. I want to chime on that. I was about to go down. I was about to go down a dark path, and like I caught myself.
Hey, hold on. I have a question. Are you watching our video right now?
No, it's just I'm watching I'm like looking. I'm being the vain guy. I have a tiny little box in the corner where I can barely see me, but I'm still looking at myself.
I'll make it a little bit bigger. Hold on. I'll make you a little bit bigger. Don't worry.
You don't have to do that. It's a thing. It's the problem that I have with FaceTiming people.
You have size.
Look, I can't look them in the eye. I'm checking myself out the entire time. I put a sports coat on for this, like a real journalist.
You know, I actually appreciate that you.
I'm wearing a Whataburger shirt. You know what? I'm just gonna wear my Whataburger T-shirt.
That's probably better. But they're not Texas anymore. So can you do Whataburger if they're not Texas anymore?
Hey mate, that's my Australian impression. Hey mate, yeah, we're Chicagoans now. That's my thing.
All right, so let's dive into this GREINKE trade real fast. And like this is the biggest news for a while. I didn't think that they were gonna do anything. Honestly, like the clock is ticking down. We have 2 hours left. Did you
think that, or did you really think that though?
I just got scared.
This team was not gonna do anything. They were gonna stand pat.
Yeah, I just got scared. Alyssa's watching us. Hi, Alyssa. Thank you for watching us. I just got scared. Right? I just got scared that they were going to stand pat or they would make like some small move. And I wasn't scared until like the last 2 hours or hour and a half. Like I thought that they were just going to go into the trade deadline. I'm like, oh shit, there's an hour left. There's 30 minutes left. There's 15 minutes left. And then I see the news about Joe Bag of Donuts. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the move? Like, I get it. That's not a bad move.
Have some respect. Have some respect for Bigiani.
So for Bigiani, I'm not. It's Joe Bag of Donuts. Like it's
like Johnny. Okay, it's Joe Bag of Donuts. Sorry, I'm not gonna ruin your bit.
It's my favorite joke that I've come up with in a long time, Patrick, and you're gonna just let me have that.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I do like it.
You do like it, Joe Bag of Donuts. Good. I'm glad you like
it.
Yes. But I thought that was the only move that they were gonna make, right? And so we'll get into me being exposed in just a few minutes. But like.
Right.
Then the news about ZACK GREINKE drops, and it was just, I mean, it was a mind-blowing move. We had all these names. We had Mike Minor, we had Zach Wheeler, we had Madison Bumgarner, we had Shaniqua Bauer. I don't even know
Noah Syndergaard.
Noah Syndergaard. We had Thor. Like we had all these names out there, but there was one name nobody except for one source, one name we hadn't heard anything about, and that was ZACK GREINKE. And like we'll dive. I want to dive into you having that. You had a source this morning that told you about ZACK GREINKE, but this makes them the #1 team in Major League Baseball. I don't care.
They're going to win the World Series. I'm not locking it in. I'm not guaranteeing it because I am a superstitious person. But with this team, they've got both starters of the All-Star game in their rotation.
Yeah. They've got 3 top 10
That's
pitchers.
so funny.
They have, like, if you look at their ERAs, like all their ERAs in Major League Baseball, all 3 of them are top 10. They have
2.88.
Huh?
2.88.
Yeah,
which would make them a top 5 ever. And I mean, and just that, and then like the lowly Wade Miley, who has been incredible, has just moved to the 4. And I mean, that's got to be terrifying. And like, people had the right reaction. I'd be terrified if I was anybody else in the American League, and they should be.
They absolutely should be. There's a Twitter video that I can't remember who the fuck it was a comedian, an actor, put out a video that essentially said we're fucked. Yeah,
Nick Ventura. Yeah, the New York guy. I love him. He won me over in the basketball playoffs, where he was so against the Warriors. He was siding with the Rockets. Do you remember some of his videos from during that?
A little bit. Yeah, I do.
Well, he was like buying tickets to come like sit courtside and stuff. And he was like, oh, fuck the Warriors. We're Rockets all day long, baby. It's Hakeem the Dream. He's wearing like old like Rocket shit. He was just like, he was all H-Town all day. He was like wearing an old Astros jersey, but he's a big Yankees guy. But yeah, I saw that video too. He's like, we're fucked. Oh, we're fucked. He's just driving. I love a good New York reaction.
Yeah, well, are there any good New York reactions? Or are you just saying you think New York reactions are good New York reactions? Because I feel like all New York reactions the scale is like, if we're talking like good is up here and bad is down here, they usually sit somewhere in the middle from an overreaction to a bad reaction. That doesn't go above over.
Josh, honestly, you don't know what's bad for good. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, that's honestly. I had somebody the other day tell me that I was too bubblegummy, which I don't know if that meant.
You are not. Okay, that's unfair.
I don't know. Well, they might have meant my body shape, right? Like they might have just meant like I look like a piece of chewed bubblegum. That could have been.
So like, is that? Are you the reason that John Mayer's lyric is and your bubblegum tongue?
Yeah.
From your body is Wonderland.
Yeah. I think I might be.
John Mayer did write that about you. That's what I thought.
I mean, he should remember that night.
Wonderland, and like you do have a bubblegum tongue, so I mean that makes sense. So that does all that. So besides the Greinke thing, I think the finding out John Mayer's lyric to "Your Body's a Wonderland" is the bigger story.
The biggest news of the day. Hey, you cleared up. You stopped watching. Watching all that porn while we were trying to stream the show. Good job. Good job. I believed in you the entire time. It's
gonna be dicey. That just is what it is.
So this makes the Astros the clear number 2. I don't care what anyone says. Like whoever doesn't consider them the World Series favorite is either an idiot or a Yankees fan. And honestly, I'm not so sure that those two things are mutually exclusive, right? Like most Yankees fans are idiots. But they have the best.
They all wear like woolen Babe Ruth jerseys, and they're just all like the Bambino, and it's like the old like cloth jerseys.
It's the great Bambino, baby. You know what, Yankees?
They wear old wool jerseys that they couldn't afford. That they all stole from somebody else. Right.
Yeah, they all found them on the street.
Out of the bodega, and they all own one bodega cat. We can't trust people that are root for that team.
No, absolutely not. But so the Astros now have the best starting pitching rotation in all the majors, right? So
not by far. I would argue they did prior to the deadline. I would argue that they could stand pat, and I'd be like, yeah, they have the best 1, 2, 3, and I think they're the best team going into the postseason. And then they add ZACK GREINKE.
Hector on YouTube says they're top 5 in WHIP. I mean, it's insane how good they are. Everybody. So one of the guys that I work for, my boss, I put out on Twitter. He had his Patriots season ticket ticket book, and he was showing it to me today. It was kind of badass, seeing what it's like to have season tickets to a football team that actually wins things.
I saw that. Did you know I'm a Patriots fan?
I did not know that. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Okay, yeah.
I don't blame you for that.
I want to talk about some goal line drills.
He's also a Red Sox fan. And when I told him the news that the Astros got Greinke, you could literally see his heart sink. The air pressure in the room changed because his butthole clenched so tight. And then, like a couple of minutes later, he tried to play it off the Sox are gonna win. The Sox are gonna win. Whatever. The Red Sox. The Red Sox are still gonna beat them in the playoffs. And obviously, that's not gonna happen. But I'm so excited about this moving forward because whenever I've done the last 2 shows, the last show I talked about how Jeff Luhnow is making tough decisions and he's making big time, big boy pants decisions to build a dynasty. And he did that today, and I doubted him for a split second, and I shouldn't have. Like, what this lineup can do with a 1-2-3 of Verlander, Cole, and Greinke in the playoffs is absolutely insane. I even like the Joe Bag of Donuts trade. Getting Joe Biagini from the Blue Jays. I almost forgot Toronto's team because they don't matter at all anymore. But getting him from the Blue Jays for a DFA'd Tony Kemp is absolutely brilliant. You essentially got a really good relief pitcher for air. You traded air for him. And then the fact that they didn't have to give up Kyle Tucker or Forrest Whitley is really, really huge. So was there anybody in this package for Zack Greinke that you're sad to see going? Like Corbin Martin, Seth Beer, Bukowskis, like
Bukowskis a little bit, and I think Corbin Martin's going to shape up to be an elite pitcher. But it's sad to see go. No, not for a Zack Greinke. For a Zack Greinke that you have control through 2021. So now, not only does he set us up for a dynasty, but now you protect yourself for Cole. So Cole might go elsewhere, and that's fine because then that still gives you JV and Greinke if Cole does go sign elsewhere. And if we win a World Series, you might get Cole saying, "You changed the way I pitch. These are my boys. I want to win 3 more here," and he signs here for a lesser deal. So And also, I'd like to piggyback on that for just when you were.
Derek Fisher. I forgot. Somebody. Thank you so much, Hector. Hector brought up that Derek Fisher got traded. He was part of that Blue Jays trade that brought Joe Biagini and Aaron Sanchez. But whatever.
I hope he thrives. What I was going to say is, like, when you were listing out what Luno did, what he also did for Martin Maldonado was. They offered him 2 years. Was it 2 years, $12 million?
It was 2 years, either 2 years, $12 million, or 2 years, $16 million. I know it was like 2 years.
It was double digit. So he turns it down for whatever reason. There's discrepancies in that story, but he goes off, doesn't, and now you get him back for 1 year, or it's like a fraction of the cost for a DFA'd Tony Kemp.
Yeah,
I mean that's shit that people just need to be like. They just need to bow down that Luno is the GOAT.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and like, look, I got exposed today. I got absolutely exposed today because I doubted Jeff Luno for just a few minutes, right? Like,
that's okay. You really shouldn't, and I'm not going to reprimand you on your own show.
You should go ahead, reprimand me. Time out, Patrick. Patrick, I just want to. These are the rules for the show. If you have problems with me, tell me. If you want to reprimand,
I don't.
The reason, no, so you don't. If you have shit you need to say, you say it. I didn't come and start this digital show to be some sensitive little pansy ass like 90% of radio hosts that can't stand their opinion being being contested. You can't look wrong
on your own show. Yeah.
Reprimand me for that shit.
No,
I should have trusted our Lord and Savior Jeff Luno.
Okay, I'm not going to reprimand you, and this is why, because you came to the correct conclusion very quickly.
I did.
But I had this, I was dealing with some of the fan base. I was kind of arguing back and forth about Trevor Bauer, and this was all hypotheticals. I never thought that they were actually going to sign Trevor Bauer. But kind of my point was, everybody's talking about locker room, clubhouse chemistry, and this and that. And I was like, if the team deems Trevor Bauer worthy, he's talked to everybody in that clubhouse just like they did with Osuna, and it's fine. And so if the team deems him worthy to sign, everybody needs to fall in line and shut the fuck up, because all they've done is bring in people. Am I allowed to curse? Sorry, I didn't ask you.
Absolutely. This is one of my favorite parts about this.
I let that fly with reckless abandon, and I didn't ask you. I just like, shut up. Like, I'm not here like saying like, yeah, I love Trevor Bauer, he's fun, but because he's not fun. Right. But I was just like, you need to shut up, and like, that's all it is. Like, trust this organization. Trust what they do.
Let me clean up some of the stuff that I've said. I did not follow my rundown. That's a bad job by me. I've been mixing up all of these trade things, and Hector is setting me straight. Hector Flores, he is my main man. He's setting me straight. I'm an idiot. So the big trades were from the Cubs. We got a Martin Maldonado for great money, like you said, and we got that for a DFA Tony Kemp. So we got Maldonado for air. And then we get Aaron Sanchez and Joe Biagini for Derek Fisher, a prospect. And then we go out and get Zack Greinke, or I say we, the great Lord and Savior Jeff Luno. Goes out and get Zack Greinke for prospects that maybe I don't like seeing Corbin Martin and Bukowskis and Seth Beer go. But it's Zach fucking Greinke, man. Like, I don't care if they had said we're going to trade Kyle Tucker for Zach Greinke. Maybe I have a little bit of pause for a 35-year-old pitcher who only has like 2 or 3 years left on his contract. But it's still Zach fucking Greinke. This is a World Series this year because of this move.
Right, and possible multiple World Series. So yeah, exactly. And I'm the same way. Like, from my source, it was never gonna be Tucker, and that was the beauty of the Greinke deal, was that Tucker wasn't on the line. So I was like, if you can get Greinke without Tucker, like, yeah, there's some contract issues. I mean, there's really not some contract issues. If Jim Crane, and this is a point that I've made ad nauseum, if Jim Crane wants to pay everybody, he can. If he wants to pay Zach Greinke the 110 or whatever is remaining on his contract, if he wants to then pay George Springer and then also give Garrett Cole what he wants and have us win 4 more World Series, Jim Crane is a billionaire and can absolutely do that. And like, it's not our money it's not for us to say who's too expensive or who we can't sign.
Absolutely.
So I think that's something the fans need to at least keep in consideration, that it's all in play. And Jim Crane has always said that he was gonna open the checkbook when it was time, and he's done nothing but that. So I have no reason to go against the front office or Jim Crane. I think we just need to ride this train, and hopefully it's to multiple World Series. But this is an exciting time to be an Astros fan.
Oh, absolutely! Imagine being Jim Crane right now. Imagine being a guy that's willing to open that checkbook for anybody, and knowing that you have a GM that can get it done. Knowing that you have a guy right now that's running your organization and running your team that is the best, hands down the best, not just the best in the city, but he might be one of the best GMs in all of professional sports, right? Like, this isn't even a city thing. This isn't even a baseball thing. This is all professional sports. And now yes. Jim Crane, the owner, he's like, I've got this guy.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught this and this was in regards to Syndergaard before. This was a few days ago. But there was a source quoting the Mets saying they didn't want Syndergaard to go to the Astros or the Yankees because they were afraid that the front offices were too smart, and they didn't want to look stupid, have him come and become like a super pitcher in one of those organizations and have them look bad because of the Astros and the Yankees were so much smarter than them. And granted, that's the Mets, and that goes without saying. But I thought that's pretty telling, knowing that they're so scared. And the Yankees have a elite front office as well. But the Astros, they didn't want him to go somewhere and become a Garrett Cole,
right,
and just become this and have them look extremely stupid, knowing that our analytics and Brent Strom and our scouting department is that much better than everybody else's, to have them look stupid. I thought that was pretty telling.
This entire organization, top to bottom, is just loaded with talent, not just from a player perspective, but from an organizational perspective. And this is what I've been taught. This is what when we were doing shows on 610 together, this is what we talked about. They're building a fucking dynasty, right? Like Jeff Luno's out here playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. Jeff Luno's out here in the city of Houston playing chess while everybody else is playing fucking shoots and ladders in this city. Well, Daryl Morey is probably playing checkers and chess sometimes, but like Cal McNair and his 6 GMs, they're playing fucking hopscotch. Like they're failing at hopscotch. I don't even know what game.
They're also getting tormented by the Patriots. The Patriots are like, let me just dangle this. We can sign Trent Williams if we want to.
What's the most basic child's game that you can play? Like, I feel like Shoots and Ladders. Candyland, is Candyland even more basic than Shoots and Ladders?
Yeah, Candyland. Yeah, it's Candyland because there's nothing to it.
Right.
Right.
So what's the old card game?
There is some strategy in checkers, even though it's basic. I think Candyland would be Shoots and Ladders is Shoots and Ladders is more. I like Shoots and Ladders because that was a game that I personally played.
What about War? You remember the old card game War? Like, there's no strategy to it. It's just each person lays their card down, and whoever has the higher card wins.
Who has the higher card wins.
Yeah, that might be the most basic game ever. So Jeff Luno's out here playing world-class chess, right? He's the world-class chess player. Daryl Morey he dabbles in chess, and he's not as good as he once was. He used to be a pro, but now it's more like sitting in the park as an old man dabbling in it. He just
brought in Russell Westbrook, and after James Harden and the deal, like, I don't really want to loop Morey, and Morey is up there with.
He's a pro, but he's not at the same level, right? Jeff Luno is ranked number one in the world.
Bobby Fischer in the chess finals, and and Daryl Morey is just like he's like pretty good in the park at Central
Daryl Morey's
Park.
trying to make a comeback.
Yeah, he's
in
in Central Park and he's playing like good guys,
Right,
but
yeah.
he's not playing Russians.
He's like the Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson of playing chess in the park, right? Where
Yeah,
he's just
like respect, and he has
Right.
the respect. He's got like he owns his own kingdom, but he's not on the top of the world.
But then Cal McNair and his 6 GMs are
He's
playing
playing.
war.
He's
They're
playing
playing war.
war. Oops! Another 3 of spades. What'd you get? Anything else? Okay, yeah.
You got a
I
6.
lost
Oh,
again.
no,
I'm
we both got 7s 3 times in a row. War again. But the worst.
Another 2. What'd you get?
The
Oh,
wor-
3. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, we lost again.
The worst part is there's 6 of them, so they're just playing war with each other, right? Like where it's just like they're all just. Oh, somebody said Andy says Hangman. No, it's not Hangman. It can't be Hangman because even that takes brain power, man.
Josh, did you ever play like the makeshift battleship on a piece of notebook paper in your class? Where you draw the line like blindly,
That's
and you
a
hope
thing?
you hit their ship. That's what Cal McNair's playing. The game where you blindly
just playing paper battleship.
paper battle.
Oh no, I think we lost Patrick. Patrick, are you there? Oh man.
Oh shit!
Oh, we've got him back. He's back. Oh, I think your internet's freaking out. Oh no, Patrick has become a transformer. He's become assimilated with the internet. Anyway, so I got exposed on Twitter today. We'll talk. Oh, wait, he's back. He's back. Let me fix things. Okay, I think we've got you now. Patrick, can you hear me?
I don't know why I'm voguing, and this was my when you just said transformer, I was like started doing this, and that's just voguing. That's not. That's not being a robot.
So we got
Sorry about that.
We got Patrick back. I got exposed on Twitter today. Somebody linked me whenever I put out a tweet saying everybody thought that the Astros were gonna get an elite pitcher and instead we get Joe Bag of Donuts. And then somebody like literally 4 minutes after that is when the Zack Greinke news dropped. And somebody quote tweeted me to Freezing Takes, Old Takes Exposed, and then they retweeted it, and I'm around like 200 likes and a bunch of trolly retweets and replies, which I love it. It's fine. I'm like everybody keeps replying. Everybody keeps giving me the L. I'm totally fine with it. And honestly,
everybody keeps giving me the L.
yeah. It's and some of them have been really clever, but like that's what I get for doubting Jeff Luhnow. And I just need from now on. Do you watch Handmaid's Tale at all?
I haven't watched the new season, but I was
But you've
caught
watched
up.
it.
Of
So
course.
it's just from now on, it's under Jeff's eye, and
That's funny that you say that because I was
praise be to Jeff.
Before we went live, I was reading your tweet that to Greinke, and you under Jeff's eye, and I was going to tell you how funny that was. So I'm going to tell you on. I get to tell you on the show. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, under Jeff's eye is exactly
May the
how
Jeff
we should.
open.
Actually, I would like to make that a thing. Can we make that a thing?
Absolutely. Y'all can use that on Lima Time. That'll be a thing between our two shows.
Let's do it.
We're going to be praise. It's going to be praise be to Jeff. May the Jeff open and under Jeff's eye. Those are going to be the new sayings. Yeah. Every time we talk about Astros with each other, you have to finish it with one of those things, or we have to begin a conversation with "May the Jeff open," and then whenever we finish a conversation, you just say,
May the Jeff open.
Yeah, may the Jeff open.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, it's gonna be super crazy, super creepy. So okay, hold on a second. Just time out real fast. This fucking guy. I'm gonna stop the entire show. We're gonna keep going, but this fucking guy on Twitter. What the hell? This guy on Twitter keeps messaging me, and he won't stop messaging me just the most random shit. He's just messaging me, let me come on. His name is Hogman14. I don't know who the fuck it is, but you know what?
I think I follow him.
Do you follow him? Okay, I don't.
I do. Go ahead. Yeah, let him on.
Should we let him on? That's gonna be my thing.
Hogman 14. This sounds risky, but
it sounds super sketch, dude.
It sounds super risky, but as somebody who likes to roll the dice myself, I say let Hogman 14 on because we can let him have it if he's so uncalled for.
All right, I'm gonna try to bring him into Skype real fast. My thing, while I try to bring him in, my thing is like I have the Fans Day once a month, one Wednesday a month. I choose somebody. I had Mike Kearns on at Zep1978 on Twitter.
Great show. At Zep he was
awesome.
I think we follow each other. I think we do. If we don't, we do. But that was a great show.
Yeah, he was really good, and I want to make this inclusive, right? I want to make this to where This is not just us. It's not just for media. It's not just for people who are pretending like they're smarter than everybody else. I want to make this for fans and for everybody. So let's just fucking bring them in.
And FYI, we don't. Me and you, I feel like we don't do that. I think that's what makes us great is that we don't pretend like we're smarter than anybody else because we know we're not.
Right. Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, let Hogman 18. Is that what it is?
Hogman 14. Hogman 14.
Okay. I got the wrong number.
I've got him in. Let me unmute him. Hold on. Are you there? Are you there?
Hey man, what's going on?
Not much. The fuck? How are you doing, dude? What the fuck is up with this mass voice, man? Like the mass voice is too much. How are you doing?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm just sitting out here on the porch, happier than a hen on a cow's ass right now. I had to mask my voice because I'm a pretty prominent figure within the city and the community, and I just want to come on here. I don't want to make a big hubbub about nothing. I just want to get in one quick thing about the Greinke trade, if I could, man.
Yeah, sure. Why? Why not? I don't know why you can't hear Patrick, but this is fucking weird, man. I'm pretty sure.
I wish I could, because this sounds like.
I'm pretty sure I'm being trolled by somebody I know, but he wouldn't leave me the fuck alone while we're trying to do the show. We're on this shit coaster. Let's go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, look, man. I'll tell you what. Here's what I think about the Greinke trade, man. The Astros and Jeff Luhnow grabbing ZACK GREINKE from the Dodgers was
the Arizona. He hasn't played for the Dodgers. He hasn't played for the Dodgers for like 3 or 4 years. He hasn't. Yeah, it's Arizona.
Potato, tomato, man. It don't matter. The Astros grabbing Greinke was the best thing that could have happened for this city and for the Houston Texans. That move is going to light a fire under the butts of these Texans players. What? Now they're going to want to show up and show this city what they got because they don't want to be the small dog in town anymore. You know what I'm saying? Now the Texans would rather be knee-deep in my mother's suntan lotion on I-45 than play second fiddle to the Astros.
Dude, stop. What the fuck is going on right now? We're talking about baseball. Patrick and I were talking about baseball, and the Astros somehow making the biggest move at the trade deadline, and you're fucking turning it into a goddamn Texans take right now?
Yeah, man. It's like shooting bull sharks off the coast of Guatemala for the Texans now. Luhnow getting Greinke is going to be peanuts compared to the moves that Cal McNair is going to make now that Jeff Luhnow showed him what the bar. He set the bar for the Texans now. And Cal McNair is going to make these Texans Super Bowl champs. You just wait and see.
God.
Cal's going to show that he's the best.
No, you're done. He's gone. He's off. I can't. He just said you couldn't hear him. I'm like that fucking voice sounds so familiar, and I think he's trying to sneak in some shit. If it's who I think it is. Or I don't know who this is. He says he's an NFL and Texans insider. It's Hogman 14. That voice sounded super familiar.
John McLean?
It's not John McLean. I think I know who it is. And if it's who I think it is, then him trying to turn an Astros trading for ZACK GREINKE conversation into a Texans conversation absolutely makes sense. Baytown represent. That was fucking stupid.
Did he by any chance say the catchphrase "shoot 'em and scoot 'em"? Did he yell that at all?
No, I'm pretty sure at one point he uttered the phrase. He uttered the phrase, I'd rather be knee deep in my mother's suntan lotion or some shit like that. I have no idea. I unplugged my headphones. I was laughing so hard.
Did he yell, send them and bend them? I don't know.
I don't know who the hell that was, but if that guy is legitimately a quote NFL expert or insider, he's going to be on the wasted talent for the rest of the year. Speaking of the Texans, let's dive into this a little more.
No, let's talk the Texans because the Texans do deserve some talk to some people, even though the Astros are winning championships, and that's neither here nor there, and the Texans will never win a Super Bowl. Anyway.
Hold on, people aren't being whatever. Let's dive into the Texans are not going to win a Super Bowl. The last thing he said was Cal McNair, like that Jeff Luhnow just lit a fire under Cal McNair's ass, and now Cal McNair is gonna show this city what he can do with the Texans and turn them into a Super Bowl contender. Look, honestly, the Texans need to figure out their shit now. Anyway,
that'd be great. Wouldn't that be great if that was the actual case?
Oh my God, this is fucking it's insane. Look, let me go. I'm gonna go on a diatribe real fast. because I've been listening to the fucking Texans propaganda machine for the last few days, and I wanted to do a show so bad last night, and I didn't get to do it because my internet was acting up. I'm not going to get to do a show tomorrow because I have to go out of town for work again. So this is my only show for the week, and I've been listening to the Texans propaganda machine, and I'm not talking about a specific station. I'm not talking about any of my people at Texans Radio. It's just this. It's this machine within the city where there's like a group of people that feel like they have to suck the Texans' dicks, and they feel like they have to pump sunshine and rainbows up everybody's ass about the Texans. And look, I can be a very optimistic person. I can be a very silver lining, try to find the good in everything kind of person. But when you try to sit there and sell me on the fact that it's okay or it's better for the Houston Texans for Titus Howard to be playing left guard when he was drafted in the first round as a left tackle, that it's better for that to happen than finding a legitimate left tackle, which I heard an ex-NFL QB on the radio this week in Houston say. When you try to sell me on that shit, that's absolutely asinine. When you try to tell me that, well, maybe the Texans, when they drafted him in the first round, they drafted him as a left guard. They didn't draft him as a left tackle. We didn't fucking need a left tackle. Or a left guard. We didn't need a left guard. We needed a left tackle. Everybody knew we needed a left tackle. Everybody was talking about it. Every station in town was talking about it. The Texans radio was talking about it. Bill O'Brien, the Texans themselves were talking about it. Brian Gain, RIP, was talking about it. Everybody knew that the position of need, more than anything else on the entire team, was left tackle. And now you, the Texans propaganda machine, are going to sit there and try to tell me that the Texans meant to draft a left tackle in the first round and make him a left guard. Now, if he's not good enough to play left tackle right now, that's fine. We are where we are. I get it. I understand that. If he is better suited at left guard, I'm all for it. If he can start at left guard and help contribute to this offensive line, and they can somehow be better than they were the last 2 years, I am totally for that. I'm not poo-pooing the idea of him playing left guard. But to sit there and tell me that the plan all along, or that it's better for the team for him to be playing left guard than being a substantial starting left tackle for this team, which is the most important position on the offensive line, is just absolute bullshit. Like, this is, and Patrick, tell me if I'm spot on. Tell me if I'm spot on with this analogy. I'm going to pull a Matt Hammond analogy out of my ass real fast.
It is. It's insulting to those of us that have any football wherewithal. It's insulting. It's insulting to spun that on us, or I don't even know. I don't know what the word I'm trying to think of.
To try to spin it into something like, look. If you tell me there's two briefcases, right?
Say that one time when they drafted him, and then all of a sudden they've acted like this has been the plan all along. That's just not what it is.
Surprise.
We did shows together when they drafted him. We were the me and you did the first show after they drafted him. We did the draft.
I forgot about that. We absolutely did, and we were like, I guess, like that was the thing. That was the thing with drafting it left.
We thought that he'd get some time there, and they would work him out there, and I'm glad that they are. There's nothing wrong with that, but to act like that's been the plan all along, like, no, that's not had been the plan all along. Dude, or they didn't tell anybody.
What's insane is the fact that they had the chance to get Andre Dillard, and they didn't move up to get him. And then they draft Titus Howard, who was a stretch and a reach at left tackle. Like, that was the thing. The next day when we did that show together, my whole thing, the only thing I had on the rundown for Titus Howard was, I guess if this is where we're going to go.
I'm still not against it.
But
I'm still with I'm the shoulder shrug emoji. I'm like,
let's see. This is the analogy I want to use for what the Texans and the Texans propaganda machine is trying to do to us right now. All right, I'm sitting. You're sitting down at a chair, and I put two briefcases in front of you. Right? Or let's say I'm the one getting the briefcases. You said,
am I playing that game show with Howie Mandel?
No. Yeah, let's just say yes. It's a game show.
There's a creepy guy giving me an offer. That's the game I'm playing right now.
You set two briefcases down in front of me, and you say the briefcase on the left has either $10,000 or $1 million, and the briefcase on the right definitely has $100,000. Okay, and I'm trying to choose between the briefcase that could have $1 million in it, or the $100,000 briefcase. Right? Well, I decide to roll the dice on what could be the $1 million briefcase. Okay,
I respect that. I do respect that.
I try to roll the dice on that. I open the briefcase and it's only $10,000.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And you know what? You know what the human psyche would do is say, well, you know what? I have $10,000 more than I did before, but the opportunity cost was $90,000. You could have just taken the briefcase that definitely had $100,000 in it. So don't sit there and try to tell me that me getting $10,000 is still a good thing. I missed out on $1 million. More importantly, I missed out on a guaranteed
$100,000. You made the wrong decision, whether it's a plus or not. You did make the wrong decision.
Exactly. So don't try to feed me some bullshit that it's a good decision because it ends up being a lesser position when the opportunity cost was so great. Don't feed me that crap. And that's what's frustrating me right now with the Texans and with this team. And we still have we have the Cal McNair's comments about a flatter organization. Right now, the Redskins are trying to get rid of Trent Williams. They're trying to find trades for him. And you're hearing nothing about that. And
if Trent Williams is not in a Texans uniform, then I have major questions. I mean, I already have major questions for the front office because what the fuck are they doing in general?
Absolutely.
But if he is available and he is not in a Texans uniform, then what the fuck are they doing? What are they doing? And that's where my question is before it, but it also would be after it if that didn't happen.
No, so, see,
what are they doing?
Dank is watching the stream right now. And he said everyone in the league drafts a guard in the first round. Yeah, when they have a fucking left tackle. Everybody in the league drafts guards in the first round when they have tackles bookending their offensive line. When you need tackles, you don't go draft left guards. You also don't draft projects as your first round draft pick as well. You don't draft projects. Right. That's what kills me is he was a left tackle. They said that he was going to be playing left tackle. They drafted him as a left tackle. They needed a left tackle. He graded out as a left tackle. But now they're trying to tell me.
They started backtracking immediately on that, because they already by the time we did our second show, which was a few weeks after we did that draft show, they were already talking about how many reps he was going to get at left guard. They were already talking. Bill O'Brien was already talking about how he was going to get reps at left guard. So they knew this and they didn't say it. And it's misleading, and honestly, I find it offensive.
Luke on YouTube says a third round guard in the first. That's what it feels like. It feels like they tried to feed us a third round guard as a tackle in the first.
That's a perfect comment. It's exactly what it felt like to all of us, and we're not. You're not anti Titus Howard. I'm not either.
I absolutely am not.
I hope he becomes the greatest offensive lineman in history of the game. I wish him all the best. This has nothing to do with him. This is about the Texans and a track record of mediocrity.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so frustrating. Alyssa asks, "Are the Texans the Mets of the NFL?" I don't know if they're that bad. They're not that bad yet.
No, because the Mets are never mediocre.
Right. The Mets are just real bad. The Mets are just always bad. The Texans are just constantly mediocre. Who would they be more like? Wouldn't they be more like? Would they be more like the Angels? A lot of really good talent and they never really do anything?
Yes, because the Angels are always mediocre and they never.
But they have great talent on the team.
Yeah. That's tough because baseball just goes up and down. Baseball teams tend to not trend towards only being you're either bad, you go bad and you go good. Their teams don't stay mediocre. Let's do an NBA. Let's do an NBA comp.
An NBA comp. Let's go with
in the West.
In the Western Conference. Well, it's gonna be hard, but there's so many good teams in the Western Conference now. Let's say the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves. A lot of really good talent, and they never really do anything with it, and they're just mediocre.
The Utah Jazz.
No, the Utah Jazz have been good, and they they win playoff games and they win playoff series, man. I'll pick the Jazz. It feels more like the Timberwolves to me. They may or may not make the playoffs.
I still view the Timberwolves as bottom of the totem pole, and that's just a bias that I have against them. I'm trying to think.
Maybe the Miami Heat.
No, it's tough because teams don't hover. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, the Texans
might be their own thing.
But the Texans have written a new book on petering and mediocrity.
Yeah.
Perpetually 9-7, 8-8 for the rest of eternal. There is no other team in any other professional sport that is as mediocre as the fucking Houston Texans.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely true.
And I wish it wasn't the case. I'm not rooting against them. It's the team in my city. It is what it is. They've just never done anything. They are perpetually 9-7, and they don't and then Bill O'Brien just enough to keep his job. And this is not. I'm not anti Bill O'Brien. He's fine, but it's just everything that the team does is 9-7.
Mm-hmm. Or 8-8.
They ooze 9-7,
Yep.
up and down from how they draft. Yeah, they let a GM draft and then they fire him. Like, what the fuck are they doing?
They let a GM draft a first round left tackle that should have been a second round left tackle that ends up being a left guard. That's fine.
And now he's gonna go. And now he's gonna go and like probably coach a potential. Albeit a dark horse wild card team, but I like what they're doing in Buffalo up there.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's neither here nor there.
These are my thoughts. Like, of course, when the season starts, I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be hyped, and there's probably going to be a little bit of that Kool-Aid. I'm going to sip the Texans Kool-Aid. And for me, the verdict, my verdict on Bill O'Brien is still out. I'm going into the season neutral on him. I've been silver lining, optimistic, benefit of the doubt with him until now. Now I'm not negative. I'm not positive. I'm completely neutral. If he goes 9-7 this year, and I understand the schedule is harder, but if he goes 9-7 this year, then I'm gonna be out, or 9-7 or worse. I'm gonna be out on Bill O'Brien finally. And I know he's had his issues with play calling. I know he's had his issues with clock management, with challenges. And if he can't put it together with him having all the control and all the power on this team, with all the talent that he has on this team, with a healthy Will Fuller again, a healthy Kiki QT, the best wide receiver in the league, and an incredibly talented young quarterback, if he can't put it together and be better than 9-7 this year,
all the pieces are there.
Then all the pieces are there. And if this team can't put it together this year, then I'm out on Bill O'Brien finally. I'm completely out on him.
You know what? And I'm gonna piggyback you on that. I haven't been out on him because I know the players love him, and I know that there's something to be said for that. But what I've wanted Bill O'Brien to do for the past few years is, I have the same gripes as everybody does on time management and challenges. Yeah, that's all fun and games. That's the hit list. But like, I also want.
Sorry, I just saw a comment. Dank just said the Texans equals Tyler White. Good, not great. Can do everything mediocre. Can make people love him and hate him at the same time. I added the and hate him at the same time.
I love Dank. There's some comps to be that. The Texans are better than that. But Bill O'Brien, I wanted him to have the wherewithal to be like, I can't do all this. Mm-hmm. Can somebody else call the plays and let me be in charge and manage the game? That's what I've wanted from Bill O'Brien. Yep. Because the offense is potentially elite. And I think that they have all the pieces there to be very, very good. I think the team has all the pieces there on both sides of the ball to be very good. Mm-hmm. So anything less than 11-5 is a failure, and we should be calling for heads.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything less than 11-5, especially with the Colts are going to be good, but the Titans take a step back. Jacksonville, I argue, it stays the same at best, but you can make arguments for them getting a quarterback and this and that. The division is to be had. It's the Texans. Anything less than 11-5, even with this schedule, is a failure, and they need to be going to an AFC Championship and winning it for once in their fucking life.
Yeah, they should
and make a win. Like I just don't trust them, and that could be the fan in me.
Yeah,
like I don't trust them, and it's I feel like it's that 9-7, that attitude perpetuates. It's like, 9-7, beat Cincinnati in the wild card game, get throttled at Foxborough, and I feel that's how they draft, that's how they acquire free agents. Yep. That's how they train. That's how they practice. And it could be unfair. I could be wrong. That's how I feel. They're perpetual 9-7.
They settle. And Luke said it best on YouTube. Bad teams can get better. Mediocre teams settle. I totally and absolutely agree with that. The Texans settle way too often. The players settle. The coaches settle. They're gonna go against some really good quarterbacks and some really good teams this year. And if they don't pull it off, then they need a bit of a regime change, because there's too much talent on this team to not be making the playoffs and to not be winning playoff games. Patrick, I appreciate you coming on, man. Zack Greinke Day. This is forever known as Zack Greinke Day.
Anytime. This is Zack Greinke Day. And it's also, honestly, what's it, Hogboy 14? It's also
Hogman 14, yeah. Hogman 14.
Hogman. I called him. How belittling of me. That was terrible of me. Hey, anytime you want me to do this show, I'll do it. I'll hop on any. I don't care if you give me 5 minutes notice. I'm hopping on.
Absolutely. And Hogman 14, I'm gonna have to reach out to him because I have no fucking clue who it is. It's probably somebody that we know.
I'm mad that I couldn't hear it. I'm gonna have to watch back just so I can. I have. I mean, obviously, you know that I have an idea who it is.
Right.
But I can't make a prediction until I actually hear the voice.
Well, yeah. Go back and watch it. I'm gonna try to get him
I will.
on. But plug yourself. Where can everybody find you?
At P McLellan on Twitter, McLellan if you can't spell, and then at Lima time _time for the best. It's the best Astros podcast on earth. The only
Hands
one that
down.
is doing it.
Easily. I'm sad I didn't make it to the live taping.
Journalism. It's not even. And this isn't a down. I'm not trying to put any other Astros podcast down. But it's hands down the best. So check us out. So yeah, Lima time _time on Twitter, and just find me on the webs. I'm there.
Yeah, I'm sad I couldn't make it to the live taping, but I was freaking.
We'll do another one with more. That was a short notice. We'll do another one. It was unruly, but it was fun.
What, can you get me into it for free?
I can list you in a
do I get do I get a VIP badge?
I will personally make sure you have some sort of badge to feel special, to where you to know that you are better than everybody else in there. Yes.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much, dude. I really, really appreciate it. And everybody watching, I appreciate you guys. I'll be back on. I have to cancel tomorrow night's show because I'm going out of town for work. But follow me at Josh Beard Radio on Twitter if you're not already doing that. Follow me, Josh Beard, on I think it's Facebook.com/Josh Beard Radio. You can follow me, Tooth Pete, on Instagram, and of course my YouTube is Josh Beard. Follow me on all those things. Subscribe. Keep watching videos. Help me grow, because I want to have actual sports talk for the fans, and not I don't want it to just be me speaking into a microphone acting like I'm smarter than everybody else. I want this to be an engaging, a very reactive